Welcome to another episode of... Wait a second. What is that? I'm having a new body. And I'm having new expressions. Oh my god. That's so cool. Alright, where was I? Yes. Welcome to another episode of Steemit, the not-so-daily Steemit show. Today we are talking about SteemReports.com. And SteemReports is this website where you can check outgoing votes, incoming votes, article voters, so basically people who are voting most often on your articles. You can check the overall daily votes, also flagged and so on. The overall big interactions, so who gave the biggest votes and flags. And you have an overview of the witnesses and where their votes are coming from. So this is a super cool tool. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? We begin with the outgoing votes info. And here you have an input field where you can type in your user account. So right now we see Flowey is doing 19.1% self-votes currently, followed by all the other users that he is usually upvoting. And you can see that some of them are more frequently upvoted, while others are getting less frequently. And then finally you have a 69 others, which is they all get so randomly upvoted that they are put together into one big block here. This is not overall time, but just the last 2 weeks. All right, that's pretty much it, isn't it? Cool. Let's go to the next one. Here we have the incoming votes. Looks the same, but different data. And here you can see Flowey got the biggest upvotes from the Yohal files, who participated 24.5% of the overall payouts. That's huge, followed by Full-Time Geek, basically with the same amount, 23.9. So these two alone, as you can see, make out 50% of my entire income in the last 2 weeks. And luckily, I was smart enough to use that money wisely for new steamy expressions. Alright, enough about that. Let's continue to the next one. Here we see the top voters of the last 30 days for @Flowey. And this is also very interesting because you have these color codes here that indicate the different articles. And when you hover over them, you see on the tooltip popping up below the mouse, there are the names of each article. And Full-Time Geek is my most valuable player here, as you see that he is even more than the Yohal files, who gives a few votes but huge ones. He is consistently stalking my profile and enjoying what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you, Full-Time Geek. And then you see all these others. You see I have a lot of people who are following me quite often. So for example, Ken DeWitt. He is following me, I don't know, since the beginning nearly. He liked what I was doing very early on and put me on his Steam Voter or Streemian, depending on what services he's using. Meaning every single article that I do, he automatically upvotes after 20 minutes roundabout, when the curation becomes profitable. Because before 15 minutes, you don't get any curation reward. And then I think it incrementally increases from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And from 30 minutes onwards, you get 100% curation reward, and you don't have to share it with me. So 20, but when you come at 30 minutes, you might be late because others who also follow me with bigger upvotes have already triggered at, I don't know, 22 minutes maybe. So something like 20 minutes is a common thing to set up your voters. All right, let's jump to the fourth tab that we have here. That is the Steemit Daily Big Votes chart. And here you see a list of users most voted, most flagged, top voters, top flagged. So, for example, Papa Pepper, he is probably the biggest celebrity currently on Steemit, and he is consistently getting a lot of upvotes. He's not getting the highest upvotes, as you can see here. They are below 70. They're quite the same amounts, which also indicates that often he is getting a lot of auto followers, and these people not necessarily even have read his articles, which is not a bad thing because others who do read his articles have such a small upvoting power that they can then interact with what Papa Pepper is offering, which is often a contest for the people so that they can win something. So it's awesome. However, let's close this and let's go back. Then we have the most flagged ones. I don't care so much about them right now. The top voters, interesting. We have Minnow Booster. So this is a bot. So therefore this doesn't count, but it's a great service. I made an episode about it. Then we have Block Trades. Let's have a quick look at that. Block Trades is one of the biggest accounts on Steemit, and they are the service that exchanges your Steem into other cryptocurrencies. So they are sitting, let's have a look in their wallet, on 3.5 million Steem. And they use this for a good cause. So they're actually curating quite a bit. Recently, they sent $500 to Booster to boost the post and gave it the maximum amount because everyone else was practically out with that high amount of bid. And made Booster upvote one post that told the witnesses of Steemit to update their software for the Steem blockchain. So this is really cool. And they didn't have to use $500, but they just have the money and they sent in the Steem dollars because they could and because it was a good cause. So that was interesting. And anyway, everyone else was refunded by Booster, so that was cool. I was actually in that round myself. Let's go to the number 5 tab here, and that is the Steemit Daily Vote Flag Interactions, where you see who did what. So for example, I just mentioned Block Trades. Here they are again on the top position for the largest vote today, going to Michelle Gent with a strength of 100,000. And I think these numbers indicate the vests that you have. This is the special term for Steem power, but in a more specific terminology that has different numbers as well. So one Steem power is not one vest. There are many more vests, and I think this number means that. And then you see the same thing. The user El Gecko suffered today from many users. I have no clue what he did, but I assume it wasn't good. All right, and then the final tab is also super interesting. Here you see the top 50 witnesses of Steem. And if you don't know what a witness is, it's a person who runs a server either from home or renting a server in a server park somewhere in the world and running the specific Steem blockchain software with the hopefully latest code. Actually, I just mentioned it, not everyone has the latest code installed, which is 19.2, I think. And yeah, so that is a shame. There are even witnesses who are still running old hard forks below 19. So that is just crazy. So it is important that we are always looking out to keep our witnesses, to our top witnesses, among the most active users and most trustful users on Steemit. You don't want to just make one a top witness and that guy doesn't care and never shows up again. but cashes out Steam every day. It's a very lucrative business, and we will make a special episode about this. So when you hover over one of these fields, you see there is fuzzy vest with a certain amount of power dedicated to the user annex. And I think because that the votes that we are giving are not equally sized. I assume I wasn't sure about that before, but now I assume that it depends on the Steam power you have, which makes sense because here the biggest bar is the blue one from the user Freedom, and I just checked him out before the episode, and he has over 7 million Steam in his wallet. So that makes sense that the higher Steam power you have, the more your witness vote counts. And then again, at the end, you see a block of the smaller votes all put together. So very interesting website, SteemReports. Check it out and tell me in the comments, how did you like my new expressions? Steamy emotions for the win. All right, enough for today. I talk to you tomorrow. Maybe.